Good morning. My name is Mike. I'm an interpretive specialist here at Bidwell Mansion State Historic Park in Chico, California. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the early Chinese immigrants to this area, Chico, and Butte County in general, as well as their relationship with John Bidwell, the man who built this mansion we're in right now, and some of the artifacts that help us remember their history. Now, right next to me, we have a Good Luck Chinese banner. And this is an item that would be very lucky to have in your home. First of all, it is red, which in China is a color associated with good fortune. You'll also notice that there's a large lion right there on the center of the banner, and that's a symbol of protection, for protecting the home. A little bit above that lion, you'll see these two wispy objects. They look like smoke clouds, but those are actually bats. And bats as well are a symbol of prosperity in China. Finally, you'll see all these little reflective medallions. Those are meant to ward off evil spirits. Now, evil spirits are very ugly, so when they see their own reflections in those medallions, they'll be frightened away and flee the home. So in general, this is a very auspicious item to have in your house. This was actually a gift to the Bidwells from the local Chinese community here in Chico. And it speaks a lot to their relationship because this area was a large gold rush area. So after 1849, when the very first Chinese immigrants started arriving in the United States, quite a few actually came up here to Butte County to look for gold and find their fortunes that way. After the gold rush, many of them decided to stay and seek employment in other areas. Now, John Bidwell had quite a large farm here in Chico, and he was the largest employer of Chinese workers after the gold rush in this county. Now, most of his Chinese employees worked in his vineyard and garden departments, but quite a few also worked in his almond orchard and dairy. Now, there was also a large anti-Chinese movement in this area in those days. Now, from the moment that they arrived in America, Chinese immigrants faced a lot of prejudice. They had their own way of dressing, their own language, their own customs, and were very different from the Americans that were already living here in the United States. So many Americans reacted to them with hostility or even violence. Now, here in Butte County, that violence manifested in several ways. There were numerous arson attacks on the Chinese communities here in town, as well as on John Bidwell's farm, since he was seen as friendly to the Chinese. Now, John's carpentry shop was burnt down, as well as his soap factory here. Now, John was always very adamant about opposing anti-Chinese violence. He spoke out against it in the local paper on several occasions, and he also helped launch the investigation to catch the culprits behind the arson attacks and bring them to justice. Now, items like this one in the house were given to John from the local Chinese community, and I think it does speak to the fact that many Chinese here saw John as more than just an employer, but also someone who might be a potential ally against prejudice. So that's one of my favorite items right here in the home. But if you'll join us next time, we'll be talking more about some of the other things that remind us of the Chinese history here in Chico.